What is going on, guys? They call me Epi. Welcome to another video on the channel today. With the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta officially closed beta is no more. That is it. It is officially wrapped up. I wanted to give you guys my impressions of the game and address some of the problems or opinions of others that have been posting on Reddit as well as the forums. So I've been playing all weekend, and it's no secret that a majority of my time spent with Ghost Recon has been a positive experience. You guys can tell from the videos that I've made, and I have more coming, that I've been having a real blast. I love the game, and I'm not going to argue that it doesn't have its issues, but I think a lot of players came into this closed beta with the expectation that this game, Wildlands, was going to perform under the same rule set and with the same formula as previous Ghost Recon games. And unfortunately, after playing so many hours, and I think a lot of you guys realize this too, that's just not the case. Ghost Recon Wildlands plays differently than Future Soldier and Grawl 1 and 2, and even some of the older classic Ghost Recons that even predate me. So I've even heard it be tossed around that this shouldn't be called a Ghost Recon game, it should be called Tom Clancy's Wildlands, and that expectation wouldn't be there, but that's how it is in this case. The Ghost Recon franchise isn't the same as it was. Things are a lot differently now. I think arcadey is the word being tossed around the most. Best describe the game in my experience too, and that's not what fans want, hardcore fans want, but that's how the game is. So I think if some of you guys take a step back and look at this game in a different light, it won't let you down as much. And with that being said, we could discuss what I liked and what I didn't like, and I agree with some of you guys on some of these points. So the first thing that does come up is the story mode, the story missions, whatever you guys want to describe them as, and I like them for what they were, with the understanding that this isn't an RPG and we're not getting 10 out of 10 super fluid, super awesome storytelling here, because it's an open world game in which we can make our own decisions and our characters are going to vary from one to another, so it's more difficult to create a story that accommodates everybody's choices as a whole. So we don't stick with the same characters, we don't see as much character development. The AI that we are given makes some jokes that are a little over the top sometimes, but for an open world shooter game, the story is there, and if you want to follow it, that's great. But if you're looking for a really fluid and awesome character developed story, this is totally not the game for you. So moving on to the difficulty settings as far as Ghost Recon goes, I made a separate video that I'll link in the description for you guys to check out if you don't know what I'm addressing here, but the difficulty settings range from recruit to veteran to elite to ghost being the most difficult, and there have been some complaints and frustrations among the community addressing the ghost mode not being ghost enough for all of us, because everybody that plays Ghost Recon is super ghost hardcore mode. Everybody who plays the game is gameplay, tactics, and sweat, but that's not the case, and I think you guys are getting a little ahead of yourselves, because the beta only gave us access to one region, and Itaqua was only one skull difficulty in the grand scheme of things. So in Ghost Recon, if you guys didn't know, you have the difficulty settings and the options that go up to Ghost, but also the regions are difficulty locked as well, so the game will get harder. I have no doubt about that. It's just a question of how. I want to see the smarter AI, I want to see them move and react differently, maybe a limited revive system. I think some of the features that you guys are requesting could definitely be implemented, could be coming with harder difficulty regions as we explore a bigger Bolivia. But if that's not the case, and I could be wrong, then I agree with you guys. Ghost is not hard enough, but wait and see what the game has in store for you. Now, no Ghost Recon review would be complete without addressing the vehicles to some extent, and I know this is going to come up because the vehicles are probably the most criticized aspect of this game, and I just want to say that this is not GTA, this is not a racing game, so keep that in mind. This is a shooting game, and again, I understand there is an emphasis on travel and exploration because this is an open world game. I completely understand you guys, but in my experience, when I was driving the vehicles, when I drove them the way they were intended to be driven, I didn't have any problems. I'm not going to take a two-wheel drive car and drive it up a mountain and expect smooth gameplay. That's not the way this works. There is no argument that some of the physics and driving mechanics could be improved, like rudders and helicopter motions are definitely something that I agree with you guys need to be there, but bashing on the vehicles as a whole, I don't think that's fair. But these are my impressions, and that's how I feel about the vehicles. They work for what they should be intended to do, and that's about it. So the last point I want to touch on is the game's replayability. How much time can you possibly spend in Ghost Recon? And I think the problem here is that we're expecting too much again, like I said, and it's a game that we all want to last 10 years like Destiny or have a life cycle like The Division, and that's not the case. Of course, we have 2 expansions coming, and God only knows what those are and how long the content updates are going to be, but we have a finite experience here until we hear anything about potential PvP or whatever. The story missions are what we get. We're going to finish those. We have side missions. You can collect some Kingslayer files and pick up documents, but at the end of the day, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a shooting shooter, and I would love for it to last. I want more missions to do, and I want more story. I want content updates. Like I said, I want longevity here. I think that's something that this game is going to struggle with unless they get PvP into the game, unless they give us updates every other week, or whatever have you, however they want to do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's not how the outcome actually ends up being. This is not something that was, in my head, designed to last forever like the other titles that we're comparing it to. So, do I want the game to have replayability? Absolutely. I love this game. I had a lot of fun playing the closed beta over the last couple of days, but it's going to need more if it wants to stay relevant, and that is the truth. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to have more Ghost Recon videos over the next couple of weeks, talking more about the game up until the launch, and I'm going to keep playing this game. Regardless of how the content ends up being, I will play the shit out of it, and I'm going to love every second of it. So, thank you guys for watching.